I am Sandy Diana. I am a teacher and I'm a mask maker. I started making masks when the pandemic hit. And anyway, I have completely transformed my life as the way it was. Um, Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would recreate my sewing business that I had from 30 some years ago and turn it into a mask making business. But I have, and I have this an amazing room that I had still saved some of my equipment from where I used to have my sewing business 30 some years ago, and that sewing business, I hope you don't mind, I'm gonna keep working as I talk. The sewing business that I had kept me at home while my children were little. And I wanted to stay home and didn't really have the income. My husband didn't have the income to keep me there without working. So I started using my talents because I love to sew, and I started sewing for a living. And I started making window treatments. My business was called Sandy's Window Creations, and now I've changed my business name to So Sandy Creates. And so you will find me on Facebook if you look for So Sandy Creates. I haven't got a website. I do have a YouTube channel that is Sandra Diana, and I tried to change the name and to get it to be Sandy Diana, and it's like I can't even change the name anymore. Anyway, we'll keep working on that. But I started making masks, and what in the world have I done? Oh my goodness! I probably should stop talking while I'm trying to sew because I've messed these up again. Anyway, I'm trying to make Valentine's mask, and I just make mask and 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 make mask, and I just can't seem to stop making these masks. But that's okay. They are helping me create my future business that I'm going to do when I retire from being a teacher. And I'm only 3 years from retirement. 3 years from retirement. It's hard to really even comprehend that I began working 27 years ago in the building where I work currently. And I really don't go to the building anymore because now I'm a virtual teacher because I can't go in the building because I'm immune compromised. I'm immune compromised for several different reasons. And not that you came on here to listen to me give you my health, a story about my health, but I would like to give you some background information on who I am because I think that is who I am. 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago, I had breast cancer. And I'm a survivor, a 9-year survivor, and I've had lots and lots of surgeries, and even so, I'm here 9 years later. So I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, out of all of that, I developed an autoimmune disorder called Sjogren's syndrome, and I also tested positive for the lupus marker. So my doctor and school system have decided that it was best that I don't compromise myself by going around other people. So I don't really teach in the building anymore. I teach from my home, and my classroom is in my dining room. And I love it, and I love my students, but I am excited about the fact that I get to retire in 3 years. Having said that, what do you do when you retire? Do you just sit and eat bonbons? Or do you do things that you like? Well, I love to sew, and I had, that same year that I had breast cancer, my house was affected by a tornado that came through our neighborhood, and it tore down our garage, And not only did I survive breast cancer in 2012, I also survived a tornado in 2012. And only thing I can think of is that the enemy was really working hard trying to take me out of this world, and God must have had something really good planned for my life because he protected me during all of that time. Anyway, I'm here, and out of all of that, I'm not rambling. Out of all of that, we rebuilt our garage because the tornado literally picked up our old garage and twisted around and dropped it. And so the insurance built us another garage, only we built it bigger and better. And we have a double car garage with a room over the garage. And I'm sitting in that room over the garage. So I started in the room, the attic, when I started making curtains and draperies. My workroom was the attic of my old house. Now I am in the, I guess you could call it the attic of the garage, but it's the workroom over the garage. And when my mom used to always ask me, when was I going to set my business back up and start back sewing again? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. I said, it takes a lot of money. Anyway, since then, my mom has passed away. And I received some money from my inheritance from where she passed away. Of course, I'd always want my mother instead, but instead I used this money that I received to finish my upstairs over my garage, and I have transformed it into a workroom. Well, I would do crafts and sewing, and I had my limited machines that I used. But then when the pandemic hit, man, I was sewing like crazy. I was sewing masks. I have sewn so many masks since March that I've sewn over 6,000, 7,000 masks. If you count the ones that I just finished making at Christmas time, it's probably, the number's probably up to 7,000. I've given away probably about 2,000 of that 7,000 masks to healthcare workers and nursing homes and doctors' offices. I've given them away. And I've also given away about $2,000 worth of money I've given away to an organization at my church that has helped to shelter in place the homeless during this pandemic time. So I've given them this money as well, all for making masks. All for making masks. And never did I think that this would increase my livelihood and I would have transformed, but it really, it took me into a whole different area. And I even won an award for being the teacher by day, mask maker by night. I won a People Taking Action award by my local news, and because of how I've helped the community and helped others through this mask making. And my biggest thing is that I just want to protect people. And I actually made a few videos that you can look at on my channel where I've got some instructional videos teaching you how to make your own mask. So that was really where I got into wanting to make some YouTube videos. And I realized how many people were starting to learn how to sew and how to do other things. And so I wanted to share with people how to sew. And, you know, you could do it. And you don't have to go out and spend and buy an expensive sewing machine. You don't have to have the best. I actually bought my younger daughter a sewing machine, and I just bought her a $60 Brother machine from Walmart. And I've taught her how to sew. And cool thing is, last year I was the teacher. I was the sponsor for the Odyssey of the Mind team, Odyssey of the Mind team. And before the pandemic hit, we were working on our tournament play, or whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what to even use the word. We were getting ready for the tournament, and the kids had to make their own costumes. and I taught second graders and third graders how to sew on a sewing machine, and they made their own costumes that are still sitting in school unused because we were never able to do our Odyssey of the Mind tournament. But I taught second graders how to sew with the sewing machine. So I figured if I could teach second graders how to sew with the sewing machine, I could teach you how to sew with the sewing machine by making some videos. And so anyway, like I said, there are things that I don't know how to do that I would really like to focus on. And while I'm focusing on learning them, I'm going to make the instructional videos and make them so that when you go to look for, or people that go to look for these videos on how to do these certain things, they can just like type in those words and you'll be able to learn to make and use those things. So a couple of things that I'd like to focus on is, number one, how to use a seam binding a binder attachment. I bought a very expensive binder attachment, and it's not a mechanical attachment. It's just an attachment that goes on the machine. It doesn't have any electricity. It's not that kind of an attachment, but I can't figure out how to use it. And I've looked for videos and I've looked for videos, and I fear the only way for me to really learn how to use it is just to really practice. And I'm going to start practicing it while I'm doing it. I'm going to use the videos. I'm going to make the videos so that we're going to learn trial and error, and you'll learn with me. The other thing that I'm going to make some videos about is this of my embroidery machine. Out of this pandemic, I've bought an industrial strength sewing machine, and I've also bought an industrial or a commercial 15 needle embroidery machine. I've gone from a 4x4 Brother SE 400 to I just jumped right into the fire 15 needle commercial embroidery machine, and I've learned to use it. It's really cool. I love using it. Learned to do a lot of things on it through watching different videos. I will just say I love the embroidery nurse, Angela Jasmina. I love Mompreneur and the Cindy Mancato. I love all of their videos. And I just subscribe to all of them just so that I can watch them and see what they're doing, and it helps me learn. And I figure that if they're doing it, helping other people learn, then I can help you learn as well. Well, one of the things that I bought for my, I bought this as a present for myself, is the embroidery grip that goes, it's made by Coleman and Company, which is a Coldesi company. They do the apparel startup or apparel business in the embroidery machines. Anyway, I bought the embroidery grip because you're supposed to be able to sew anything with that. And but I'm not very good at it. And I'm telling you, there are not enough videos out there to teach you how to use it. So I'm going to work on making videos on how to make this embroidery grip. And so that's what my plan is. And anything else that I can show you along the way about sewing. Like I have a Johnson ruffling machine, and that I used when I had my business, because I specialized in ruffled curtains. Remember Dorothy's ruffled curtains? Well, I specialized in making my version of Dorothy's ruffled curtains, and man, I could whip those out in my sleep. And anyway, and I've even seen where there's like a resurgence coming along where people are making ruffled curtains again. So I'm going to pull out my ruffling machine and I'm going to get it all oiled up and get it back working. But I'm really going to use it to make ruffled butt bottoms for baby bloomers, and ruffles for bibs, and ruffles for and I've even seen where the ruffle curtains, and I might even make some ruffle curtains for people again, because I was really good. Not that I'm bragging, but I know how to do it, and it's really cool. So I can teach you how to do it as well. And when I was learning, I didn't have YouTube. I just had to figure it out on my own. So a lot of things that I know is because I figured it out on my own. And but I'm a teacher at heart, so I want to do some instructional videos so that I can teach you how to do it yourself. And like I said, there's lots of people that are working on learning to sew right now during this pandemic. I'm telling you, I made a lot of masks. I probably have about 100 masks that I've made for Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day to have them all ready to roll. And because, you know, we just see it. I have learned from watching the videos. It's like you got to go from one holiday to the next holiday. I even heard somebody's already preparing for Christmas already again. So I might be doing that also. But I make all of my masks by hand. I do not use the in the hoop method. I have not found the pattern that I like. The one that I did try, it seemed to be too small for my face. I gave it away and it worked fine for the person that I gave it away to. But one of the reasons why I'm not as crazy about the in the hoop mask, or the patterns that I found, is because they don't really have a wire. And I make these masks so fast that I haven't figured out how to mass produce or make the in the hoop mask faster than what I can make one mask and mass produce them. So I spent the other day, I spent about an hour cutting out all of my masks, and I do not cut them by hand. I have a rotary cutter, an electric rotary cutter that cuts through layers and layers and layers of fabric. I had to get that cutter because my hand was dying from cutting out 6,000 masks. So I had to figure out a better way. And since I've been in this business a long time, I knew that there was such a thing that you could buy. So I'm stuffy right now because I had my indoor heater going on. Note to self, don't sit underneath the heater, but it kept my feet warm all day long. But I mass produce these, and I literally can, if you were to time me from start to finish, I can make one mask in 3 minutes. And, you know, I don't think you can do it that fast with the in the hoop kind. So I just haven't found that it's that fast because I'm not that fast at hooping and all like that. Now I can monogram it pretty fast, and that's another thing that I use. I monogram a lot of my masks. People love having them personalized. And that was one of the reasons why I went ahead and I jumped in and I bought that 15 needle machine, because the people that you can get things personalized from in this area is very limited. So I did a lot of personalization for Christmas items, and now everybody's getting ready to, or people are already starting to call me because now they want their Christmas items that they want all of those items personalized. So if you don't think that there's a need for being able to monogram and personalize things, and there's definitely a market for it. Definitely a market. So I just want to show you the stack of masks that I have made. And I'm ready to go inside the house for the end of the year. And I'm going to go in and I've made me a goal list that I've got. So right now they're sitting in my lap. And I'm still stacking them up. I'm going to show you a full shot of them. I have a few that I didn't get made because I ran out of backing to them. But I'm going to show you this whole stack right now. By the way, be careful with your new iPhones because I just called 911 on my iPhone. All right, so here's my stack of masks that I have made all day. So I'll be turning all of these in. And then the next process is that I iron them flat. And I will add the elastic to them. So I don't even know how many there are right now. There's probably at least 60 masks or more, because I would have to go by how many. I cut out 8 out of every piece of fabric that I had. I went to Joann's and I got some fabric the other day so that I could get it. Anyway, I guess that's enough. This has been 19 minutes of me telling you about who I am and what my focus is, and an introduction. So I look forward to making more videos And I hope I get better and better at making the videos, because I've seen some really good ones and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm intimidated because these people look like they're like professional videographers. Well, I'm not. I'm not a professional videographer. I have asked my one daughter, because she loves technology, if she will help me spiff up my videos. And like I said, it's probably not a great idea to see my trash sitting behind me, but short of not being able to put it outside because it's raining, it's going to sit there until trash pickup again on Tuesday. And today is Thursday, New Year's Eve. So it's got to sit because we didn't have room to put it out this week. But anyway, I look forward to making more videos, and I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you have a happy new year. But my goal for 2021 is to continue to grow my newfound business, and whether it is showing instructional videos, or whether it is continuing to make masks, whether it is continue to do personalization things for people, coming up with my new ideas and putting my ideas that I have. That's probably the biggest thing that I could say to you, is that write down your ideas, write down your goals, and then make them come to reality. Because if you only just write them down and put them on a piece of paper and you never act on it, what is it? What really is it? So make it come to life. Make it real. Make it happen. So write it down, something that you want to do, something that you want to focus on, and make it happen. Happy New Year. Welcome 2021.